After the shocking moment at the Oscars where Will Smith went up on stage and slapped Chris Rock in the face over a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith, Hollywood had a very interesting reaction, which is to say, for the most part, they had no reaction. They sat there while that happened, and then 30 or 45 minutes later, they gave Will Smith a standing ovation and applause as he gave a speech about being a vessel of love after winning the Best Actor award. But what we've seen in the days since might start to explain why so many people in Hollywood have stayed silent about this and refused to condemn this, because the couple people that have are met with huge, massive pushback and attempted cancellations, because as it turns out, nearly everyone in Hollywood has skeletons in the closet. And what Zoe Kravitz is finding out right now is exactly that. Zoe Kravitz is getting instantly canceled for condemning Will Smith over Chris Rock's slap. And Zoe Kravitz, I think, had one of the most tame possible responses, or condemnations, if you could call it that, towards Will Smith. She didn't say much about it. It was pretty tongue-in-cheek. 2 Instagram posts right here from Zoe Kravitz. Here's a picture of my dress at the award show where we are apparently assaulting people on stage now. And then here. And here's a picture of my dress at the party after the award show where we are apparently screaming profanities and assaulting people on stage now. Not exactly the biggest burn, just a simple little kind of tongue-in-cheek response about what happened when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. As a result of this, the very same people who have been celebrating Zoe Kravitz for the past few months after her role as Catwoman in The Batman are now turning on Zoe Kravitz and are trying to destroy her, trying to get her canceled for something that happened years ago. And when you look at what people are talking about, it is weird. It is creepy. But this is Hollywood. So many of these people are wrapped up in this insanity. Maybe that's why so few people have said anything. They're afraid if they criticize Will Smith that they'll be targeted and that they'll be canceled. And there's a big group of people out there, namely Black Twitter. Black Twitter is out there right now. They are trying to eviscerate anybody who goes after Will Smith. Anyone who dares say that a dude who went on stage and slapped someone over a joke might be in the wrong. Look at this right now. This is where it started. Fans of the Smiths were not happy with Kravitz's posts and immediately began canceling her. This is from a Twitter bio called Biracials Out. Zoe Kravitz, also a predator, by the way. And I want to pull this up. This is a very old quote. I'm not exactly sure where it's from. But this is from the movie After Earth, because Will Smith and Jaden Smith, his son, were in that movie. Zoe Kravitz was in that movie as well. Even more awesome for Zoe was spending time with the Smith clan when the cameras weren't rolling. There were moments that I was hanging out with Jaden and thinking, I can't believe you're 14. I have to check myself, like what I say to you. She laughs. He has so much personality and so much swag. He is so much cooler than I am. And he's so handsome. I was always like, when you're older, you know, we'll hang out. Nope, that's appropriate. You're 14. Now, with it being written down like this, who knows the type of voice she was using it in? Was it just in a joking manner? Not necessarily something most people think you should be joking about. I don't know. I'm certainly not going to go out of my way to assume the best about Zoe Kravitz. This is Hollywood, after all. We know some of the disgusting acts that occur in Hollywood. So it's not necessarily a stretch of the imagination to consider that someone in Hollywood might be thinking this way. But we don't really know it, again, from like a decade ago, potentially. But the bottom line is that people saw this, and that's it for Zoe Kravitz. This is now the narrative. Now Zoe Kravitz, after very, very light criticism of Will Smith, is now getting labeled a sexual predator over what she said over Jaden Smith, and she is getting destroyed on Twitter right now. Why was Zoe Kravitz, grown ass at 26 years old, attracted to 16-year-old Jaden? The F is wrong with her. Zoe Kravitz supports known abuser Alexander Wang, made predatory comments about 14-year-old Jaden, and dated Ezra Miller when they, because Ezra Miller's non-binary now, were 17, 18, and she was 20 plus, but wants to speak about Will and draw the line at the slap. Zoe Kravitz getting eaten alive, and there's nothing I can do to save her. Zoe Kravitz lost all her Twitter hype in just 30 minutes. Zoe Kravitz throwing shots like her last marriage didn't last for 2 months. Sit down, and there's more. Twitter is making sure every single celeb that speaks out against Will Smith does not prosper. Y'all got Jim Carrey, Zoe Kravitz, and even snuck in a Charmed one. Here you go. This is people going after Jim Carrey for this. This is the tweet we just talked about. And even Holly Marie Combs, who just said, what the heck? Fresh Prince lost his sense of humor. Someone said, you're the ugliest sister on trial. Literally. Anyone who says anything bad about Will Smith, Black Twitter comes after them. Zoe Kravitz is funny. We'll never forgetting working at Essence and us trying to book her for interviews, covers, events, etc. and her team declining because we aren't her audience. Zoe Kravitz is the token black girl they use in movies to be the black girl without being the black girl. She doesn't even like being the black girl. And her acting is bottom tier. She's Zoe in everything, never an actual character. This is the person that people were praising. This is the person that people are holding up as, look at this strong black female actress. She's incredible. She's powerful. She's our Catwoman. That was the narrative a few months ago until Zoe Kravitz decided to make a very light comment about Will Smith literally slapping Chris Rock in the face. Now, this is the result. Cannot believe y'all were just sitting on these Zoe Kravitz receipts. G.I. Jane, the fall of Zoe Kravitz. The way I expected literally nothing but that from Zoe. Look at the material. Look at the household. Like, people are going brutal levels here. Zoe Kravitz brave as hell for trying to diss the father of the N-word she was trying to prey on. Zoe Kravitz just mad at Will Smith for telling her to stay away from his son. Nothing will ever beat how quickly the internet switch up on somebody. Yesterday, Zoe Kravitz was the sexiest woman ever. Today, she has to beat predator allegations. It just goes on and on and on. And this is apparently what happens. This is the result when you speak out about what Will Smith did. When you say that Will Smith slapping someone over a joke is ludicrous, you say that's not right, that shouldn't be happening, whatever, you get canceled by Black Twitter. That's the way it works right now. The insanity that is spawned from this moment at the Oscars is very strange. The amount of people who have successfully, I will say, and to some degree, because some part of the conversation is revolving around this, the fact that some people made this into a racial issue and are now like finding a way to celebrate a black man defending a black woman. We don't see that enough. It was good to see, all while slapping another black man. This entire thing is crazy. And Zoe Kravitz, this is not super heavy criticism. Here's a picture of my dress where we are apparently screaming profanities and assaulting people. That was it. It wasn't like some diatribe against Will Smith. That was it. And that's enough to get all this stuff to come back up about Zoe Kravitz. Insane. I don't really feel bad for her. I think she's an activist, but you have to step back and say, holy shit, this is nuts. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.
Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.